sure if you can hear any background noise. It's pretty warm here, so I've got the window open. I just thought that I would film a get ready with me, like doing my makeup whilst I do like a live update video, because I wanted to do a live update video anyway, and I didn't know what to do at the same time. So I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear Primer. I have been watching a lot of, sorry, next door's dog is barking. I have been watching a lot of like Project Pan content, mostly shorts on YouTube. And it has kind of inspired me to think, you know, I own so much of, I'm definitely like, I have a collector mentality. So I own a lot of different things, like a lot of fragrances, a lot of makeup, a lot of clothes. This is one of the things that I want to Project Pan. It's the, what's it called? Sol de Janeiro 62 pistachio and salted caramel. So I'm just gonna, I think I got this when I was on holiday at some point. I'm putting a lot on because it's cooling me down. Yeah, so I have a lot of things, and it's interesting how things, you know, come in and out of fashion. This is a Beauty Bay eyeshadow base, so I always do my eyeshadow first because I used to do my foundation first, and then half the time the eyeshadow would like fall down my face, and then I'd have to like retouch up my foundation. So then I figured out it was actually better to just do the eyeshadow first, and that usually works out better. Sometimes I forget, but today I'm not really doing anything. I'm going to Slimming World later because I'm trying to lose weight. That's one of the other things I wanted to talk about, but I'll talk about the Project Pan thing first. So I'm using the By Us palette, Garden Busters, and I'm going to do a purple look. So there's this purple colour Fig, and then there's like a shiny purple Grape. So this was like the sister brand of Odin's Eye, and I do like the palette. And then I feel like this came out a little while ago, but for some reason, sorry if I don't look at the cameras because I need to use the mirror, it seems like they just stopped, like they only brought out this one palette and then never brought out anything else. So yeah, so like I was saying, so back in like, you know, 2016 or whatever, at that point what was in fashion was the big makeup collections, and I obviously fell into that. Like when I look back and I think how much money I must have spent on, you know, makeup and all the like clothes and different things. I have a lot of, so some products like foundation and stuff, I just always use the same foundation, but then other products, like I have a big eyeshadow palette collection, I have a lot of lip products, I have a lot of like blush and highlights as well, and yeah, at the end of the day I only have one face, so I'm never going to be able to use it all. And also when I'm working, I have to like look professional, so I wouldn't be able to do makeup like this for work. So a lot of the makeup I have I can't even use most of the time. So I have been thinking, I mean this year I've tried to be kind of on a low buy, where at the beginning of the year I told myself that I'm only going to buy either from Singe Beauty, Glamlight if they came out with like a collaboration that I like, but they haven't so far this year, and Cosmic Brushes, because I collect all of their palettes, and I have stuck to that. But then I have also bought myself like, there's the eyeshadow, random bits of makeup like here and there, and I don't need any more makeup. Like I honestly have so much, and a lot of it is old, and you you know, I don't do that whole like expired thing. So I use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in 1NO Porcelain. This is the new formula. At first I preferred the old formula, but now I don't mind. And then I put my septum away so I don't get makeup on it. Yeah, so I think I've been better this year. Again, sorry, I'm having to look in the mirror, which is up here now. I think I've been better this year than I have other years in terms of buying stuff, but like, I haven't bought any clothes for a while. Apart from when I did the charity shopping on holiday. I definitely like with Shein, especially around Halloween, because when Shein do their Halloween collection, because of, you know, I like to wear like alternative fashion. I always buy a lot of stuff around that time of year because what they class as Halloween clothes, I just class as everyday clothes. So yeah, I definitely found to a trap. And it's the same thing of, well, when I'm at work, I have to wear work clothes. So a lot of my clothes I can't even wear most of the time. And I probably have clothes that like I haven't worn, you know, for years or whatever. And I do actually declutter things a lot. Every now and again I go through my wardrobe and my makeup, and like with the clothes I donate to charity, and the makeup I usually just either give it to my mum or throw it away if it's really old. So I do try to stay on top of it, but then I still have a lot of stuff, like even if I do a big declutter, it doesn't really look any different. So I'm just trying to think that I don't need to buy anything really, and I need to save money as well, which is one of the other topics. So I'll just quickly go talk about my weight. So obviously I'm getting married on Halloween, and I want to lose weight for my wedding, which I think, you know, it's quite standard that people want to do that. Originally my goal at the beginning of the year in January was that I wanted to lose 4 stone, and I was doing really well. So from January till March, I lost 17 pounds, like just doing it myself, like no medication or anything. And you know, that I was good, I was on track. And then at the end of March was when I became unwell, and so for about 10 weeks I just completely stopped doing it, and I just ate whatever I want, and because I just wasn't in the, you know, the mood to be dieting. But I was quite lucky because even though I did that, I only put on like 5 pounds in 10 weeks, which I think isn't bad considering that I basically spent 10 weeks just eating everything. But I think part of the reason I didn't put a lot of weight on was because of the stress. And then, yeah, so about 4 weeks ago, I went back to Slimming World after I hadn't been for 10 weeks because I've now got like 4 months. So at that point I had 5 months. So this is the number 7 Pro Artist Touch Up Concealer. I think I got this in like a advent calendar last year, which is weird because this colour wouldn't work for everyone because it's quite light, but it works for me. And yeah, so I rejoined 4 weeks ago because I thought, right, I've got 5 months left till the wedding. And in the last, so in 3 weeks I managed to lose 7 pounds. So I'm basically back to where I was in March, which is annoying because I basically wasted, you know, like 3.5 months. But at the end of the day, I was unwell, so it is what it is, isn't it? I've got the Morphe translucent powder, and so far I've now lost, well, I'm getting weight today. I don't know how much I've lost after today, but I've lost over a stone anyway, like since January. So now my goal is I want to lose, I've got about 4 months, and I want to lose another 2 stone so that by the time of the wedding, I'll have lost 3 stone, like since January. So, luckily my wedding dress, I already have it and it fits. So it'll fit whether I lose weight or not, but obviously I would rather lose weight. Like obviously for like health reasons, but also just so that I look nice. And, you know, like on my wedding day I'll be having lots of pictures taken, so I just want to look nice. So I have the L'Oreal brow, I don't know what it's called, but anyway. Yeah, this has nearly run out, so this could be put on my project pan as well. So, yeah, so the main update, which kind of ties everything together, is the reason I started making videos again is because, so at this point I just set my makeup, and I used to, after I've done like the base, it's the L'Oreal setting spray. It's the one that smells like hairspray. And I'm going to do the new, well it's not new, but new to me, Fenty Beauty lipstick. Tulip Kiss. I got this in the boot set there. It's like a nice nude colour. And then I got this at TK Maxx. It's a blush palette from Rude. And it's got all these different blushes in. So I think I'm going to try this one, which is called Jelly, and it's got like a mid-toned pink. I always struggle with blush because if it's too pigmented, I look a bit crazy, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, so anyway, sorry. Yeah, so at the end of March, I got signed off sick from work due to stress / mental health. I have like a long-standing history with anxiety and depression, but I have been stable for quite a long time before now. So I think it looks okay on camera, but in real life, I'm looking a bit like a clown. I've just thought that. Yeah, so I think I'd been stable for a while, like a few years. Like last time I was really ill was like 2017, 2018. And then I was on medication for a while. I stopped taking medication in 2021, so I hadn't been on medication for like 5 years. I'm just going to try and use some Revlon Colour Stay to, yeah, make me look a bit less crazy. But my job was very stressful. It was to do with, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it was to do with safeguarding. There was a lot of pressure. I had to, you know, work late nights. You don't get extra pay or overtime or anything. So working late nights or at the weekend, or I was supposed to have every other Friday off, but half the time I would be checking my emails, and just when I tried to say something to my boss, she wasn't very helpful. And because of my history of mental health, I could tell that I was getting ill. And so I needed to do something about it, which I found really hard because I've always been like a workaholic, and for 11 years I hadn't taken a single day off work sick, like even when I was sick. So like when I had COVID and I was really ill, I still carried on working. What I would do when I had COVID is I would sleep in every morning and then log on every afternoon and work from home. So yeah, literally no sick days off. So this is the Beamtown Pink highlighter from Troublemaker, which I think is owned by the people that used to own Revolution before they sold it. They're quite cheap. It's glittery pink. Yeah, so I found it really hard to take time off work because I'd always been like a workaholic and put work first, like before my own health and things. So I went off at the end of March. I think originally my boss thought I might only be off for a little amount of time. This is the waterproof Forces from Maybelline. Because at first I just got signed off for 2 weeks. And then I got signed off for another 2 weeks. And then I got signed off for 2 months, which took us to the end of June. So whilst I was off sick, I wasn't really looking for jobs because I didn't have the energy to do that. Like I was unwell, like I was finding it hard to get out of bed and things. And part of the reason I started making videos again was because I thought it would help my mental health, which it has. So thank you for all of the nice comments that people have left me. Obviously no one knowing what I was going through, so it was still nice. And I appreciate them. And yeah, so whilst I was off sick, well, I still am off sick, but anyway, I was contacted by another person that I know who does the same job as me. And she said she'd heard what had happened, something similar had happened to her when she worked at this place that I work at, that she got signed off sick as well. And asked if I'd be interested in working for her, and then said even if I didn't want to work for her, we could still meet up to have a chat, so that was nice. I'm going to wear my fishbowl earrings. So I went for lunch with her and the manager of the firm, and it worked out. So basically they offered me a job. It's going to be less money than what I was on at my old job, but I'm going to be working 4 days a week because I think that will help me with a work-life balance, because that was part of the reason that I burned out. So you have to balance money versus, you know, being well. So it's going to be less money, but so I'm going to have to try and obviously spend less money. So I need to save money, which also helps with the whole project plan thing, plus I'm still saving for my wedding. And I'm going to start that job in August. I'm signed off sick till the end of July. And then so my plan is, once my sick note runs out, I'll go start my new job in August. And luckily I don't have to go back to my old job, which I'm happy about. So, and then I'm trying to see if we can arrange it that I can go on holiday, like if just for a few days with my fiance before I go back to work, because even though I've been off work for a while, I need a rest, because a lot of that time I was under mental duress, and now that it's kind of resolved, I just need that rest, and he needs a rest as well, because we're having a long honeymoon. He's not really had any break this year because most of his holidays have been used up on the honeymoon. So it would be nice if we could go away for a few days. So we'll see, hopefully we can. And then in the meantime, I'm going to, when I first went off sick in March, I wrote a list of all these jobs that I could do in the house, you know, like jobs you don't normally have time to do. And I haven't done any of them. Well, I did some, but not many. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm going back in a month, so I need to actually do some of those jobs. But I'm still going to try to rest. Like today, I didn't get out of bed till like 1 o'clock because I was just too tired. Because depression does make you tired. But I obviously need to get back into a routine before I go back to work. So I need to sort that out at some point. So yeah, so hopefully I want to do some jobs in the house. We can go on holiday. I've been helping my mum out a lot because she is disabled. And I'm going to do that the last week of July before I go back to work in August. By then I'll have been off work for 4 months, which I've never been off work for that long before, so it will be interesting. Hopefully I can kind of just, you know, it'll be like riding a bike and I'll just know what I'm doing, but we'll see. But also, because I'm going to be going back to work, it probably means that I won't be filming as many videos because I'll be working again. So I'm going to try and film some videos before I go back to work. Well, I'll still try and aim for maybe like one a week, but I'll probably only be able to either film at the weekend or like maybe on a Friday, because Friday will be my day off, so I won't be wearing like as many different outfits and things because I'll be back at work. I do have a list of different videos I want to make. I want to make like a what's in my bag, a jewellery collection, a makeup collection, a false nail collection. I want to make this video so I can take this one off the list. But if there is any other specific videos, let me know. So that was basically the update. I wanted to talk about Project Pan, my weight, my new job, and those are kind of the things that are happening at the moment. And I need to keep planning my wedding. And yeah, hopefully go on holiday. So thank you if you watched all the way through. It was quite a rambly video, and I put my hair up today because it's hot. So yeah, it's too hot to have my hair down. I already feel like sweaty, and all I've done is get ready.